Have you ever found yourself drifting off in your recliner in the middle of the day, maybe just after lunch, and waking up groggy, disoriented, and even more tired than before? You tell yourself it's just a quick rest, but suddenly it's been an hour or more and now the rest of the day feels sluggish. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And believe it or not, that seemingly harmless daytime nap could actually be doing more harm than good. Now don't get me wrong, rest is important, especially as we get older. But there's a big difference between giving your body the rest it needs and falling into a pattern of excessive daytime sleeping. That's where problems start to sneak in. You may begin to notice that you're waking up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning, or struggling to get up in the morning, feeling refreshed. It becomes a cycle that's easy to slip into and hard to break out of. So why does this matter? Well, daytime sleepiness in older adults is often a sign that something is out of balance, whether it's sleep habits, lifestyle routines, or underlying health issues. And ignoring it can lead to bigger challenges, memory issues, slower reflexes, weaker immunity, and even increased risk of falls. But here's the good news, you're not stuck with this. You can take simple steps to break the cycle and reclaim your energy, your clarity, and your quality of life. In this video, we're going to talk about exactly how to do that. You'll learn what might be causing the daytime drowsiness, how to fix it, and how to feel more awake and alert throughout the day without needing to rely on caffeine or naps. It's not about doing anything extreme, just gentle, realistic changes that you can start today. Let's begin with something that sounds simple but makes a huge difference, your morning routine. You see, the way you start your day sets the rhythm for everything that follows. If your mornings are slow, quiet, and inactive, your body doesn't get the signal that it's time to wake up fully. That's when you're more likely to feel drowsy after breakfast and tempted to lie back down. Try this tomorrow. As soon as you wake up, open the curtains or step outside into the daylight. Natural sunlight helps reset your internal clock, what doctors call your circadian rhythm, and tells your brain, hey, it's daytime now, time to be alert. Even 10 to 15 minutes of morning light can help your body understand when to be awake and when to wind down at night. It's one of the simplest things you can do, but it works like magic over time. And while you're at it, add a little gentle movement to your morning. Maybe some light stretching, a short walk, or even just walking around the house while tidying up. You don't have to jump into a full workout. The key is to get your blood flowing and your muscles moving. That helps clear out the mental fog and gives you a natural energy boost that lasts through the morning. Another sneaky reason many seniors nap during the day is because of what and when they're eating. If your breakfast is high in sugar or low in protein, your energy might spike and crash, leaving you sleepy before lunchtime even rolls around. And that drowsiness after lunch? It's real, but you can manage it by changing just a few things. Start your day with a breakfast that has some staying power. Eggs, Greek yogurt, a slice of whole grain toast with some nut butter. These kinds of foods give your body the fuel it needs without the crash. And when lunchtime comes, try to avoid heavy, carb-heavy meals that weigh you down. Instead, think light, balanced, and colorful. A salad with chicken, some roasted vegetables, or a small bowl of soup with a side of fruit. These meals give you energy, not sleepiness. You might be wondering, but isn't a nap good for me? The answer is, it depends. A short, planned nap can be helpful, especially if you didn't sleep well the night before. But once that nap goes over 30 minutes or happens too late in the afternoon, it can throw off your sleep at night. Then, when bedtime comes, you're wide awake, and the cycle begins again. If you feel like you absolutely need a nap during the day, keep it short, 15 to 20 minutes max, and try to take it before 2 p.m. Think of it like a little refresh button, not a full shutdown. And make sure you're not lying down in a dark, quiet room that invites a deep sleep. Sit in a comfortable chair with the lights on and maybe some gentle music in the background. That way, your body knows it's just a rest, not bedtime. And, speaking of bedtime, what time you go to bed matters too. Many people don't realize this, but as we get older, our sleep patterns naturally shift. You might feel tired earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. That's completely normal. The trouble comes when we try to fight those natural rhythms. staying up too late watching TV or scrolling through a phone, and then struggling to fall asleep or stay asleep. It becomes harder to get the deep, restorative sleep your body truly needs. That's why having a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends, is one of the best things you can do. Try going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. It trains your body to expect rest at the right time, and over time it leads to deeper, more restful sleep. That means you'll be less tired during the day, and less likely to nod off during that afternoon movie, or while reading a book. Now that we've talked about how your morning habits and eating patterns affect your energy, and how short naps and a steady sleep routine can help, let's go a little deeper. There are still a few more hidden culprits behind daytime drowsiness that often get overlooked, like medications, hydration, and how mentally active you stay throughout the day. And now that we've explored how excess daytime sleep can affect your body clock, and why keeping your mind engaged plays such a big role, let's talk about another common habit that might be sneaking in under the radar: relying too much on caffeine or sugary snacks to push through the day. It's so easy to reach for a second cup of coffee or a cookie when the afternoon slump hits. You might tell yourself, it's just a little treat, or I need this to keep going. But here's the thing. Caffeine and sugar give you a quick burst of energy, sure, but they also set you up for a crash later. And that crash, that's often what pushes you toward an afternoon nap you didn't even plan to take. Let's break it down a little. When you drink coffee or tea late in the day, say after 2 or 3 p.m., the caffeine can stay in your system for several hours. Even if you think it doesn't affect you, it might still be interfering with your body's natural rhythm, making it harder to fall asleep at night. And when your sleep at night isn't deep or restful, you're more likely to feel tired during the day. That's the cycle, and it's frustrating. Sugar works the same way in a slightly different form. You might feel a boost after that slice of cake or that soft drink, but your blood sugar spikes and then crashes. And that drop can leave you feeling even more drained than before. It becomes a roller coaster of energy highs and lows, and the only thing that seems to make it better is lying down for a nap. But as we've already talked about, that nap, especially if it's long, only adds to the problem. So what can you do instead? Think about fueling your body the same way you'd take care of a car you love. Would you fill the tank with sugar water or run it on fumes? Of course not. Your body, especially after 60, thrives on steady, balanced energy. Try opting for a small handful of nuts, a piece of fruit with some protein like apple slices with peanut butter, or even just a glass of water. You'd be surprised how often fatigue is actually a sign of dehydration. Also consider how often you move. One of the most overlooked causes of daytime tiredness is simply sitting too much. It's common, especially if you're retired or home, more often. You sit down after breakfast to read the paper, then you watch a little TV, and before you know it, your body starts to feel sluggish. Not because you've done too much, but because you haven't moved enough. Here's something small, but powerful you can do. Set a timer or an alarm to go off once every hour during the day. When it rings, just stand up. Walk around the house, stretch your arms. Do a lap around your kitchen or go outside for a minute. It doesn't have to be intense. Just moving your body sends a signal to your brain that it's still daytime, that you're still active, and that there's no need to switch into sleep mode just yet. Even better, if you can step into sunlight during that movement, you're giving your body one of the strongest natural cues that it's still daytime. Natural light tells your internal clock that it's not time to rest yet. It boosts your mood, supports your bones through vitamin D, and reminds your body to stay alert. And later, when it's time to wind down for the evening, that natural rhythm will help you fall asleep more easily and sleep more deeply. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I'm already tired. Moving around sounds hard. And you're right. It can feel that way, especially if your body's gotten used to the routine of long, quiet afternoons. But energy doesn't always come before movement. Sometimes energy comes from movement. The very act of getting up and doing something gentle, like walking to your mailbox or stretching your arms up toward the ceiling, can actually create the spark you need to shake off that sleepy feeling. Let's also take a moment to talk about how routine affects your daytime energy. A lot of people don't realize that irregular routines, waking up at a different time each day, eating meals at odd hours, staying up late to watch TV, can actually confuse your body's internal clock. Your body loves rhythm. It loves knowing what to expect. If you go to bed at 11 p.m. one night, then 1 a.m. the next, and then try to get up at 7 a.m. like nothing happened, your internal rhythm gets all mixed up. The same thing happens when lunch is sometimes at noon, sometimes at 3 p.m., or when you snack throughout the afternoon instead of sitting down for a proper meal. But the good news? You can gently train your body to feel more energetic during the day and sleep better at night, just by getting into a steady daily rhythm. It doesn't have to be rigid, just consistent. Wake up around the same time each day. Have breakfast at the same hour. Go for a morning walk or open your curtains to let the light in. Keep meals and bedtime consistent, and your body will start to respond with better energy and fewer sleepy spells in the afternoon. The more you build these little habits, the more your body starts to recognize what time it is and what it should be doing. It's like teaching an old friend a new routine, slow at first but worth it. And once that rhythm is in place, you may find that those long naps you used to depend on just don't feel necessary anymore. So now that we've talked about how your internal rhythm and small daily habits can make a huge difference, let's go a step further and look at how you can gently break the cycle of daytime napping without feeling miserable or fighting your body every afternoon. Because here's the truth. It's not just about saying no to naps. It's about replacing them with something better. Something your body and mind will actually enjoy. Let's start simple. If you usually nap after lunch, try substituting that nap with a quiet but engaging activity. Something that relaxes you without putting you to sleep. Maybe you read a chapter from a lighthearted book, or work on a puzzle. Listen to calming music. Water your plants. Call a friend. Even just sitting outside with a glass of water and watching the birds for 15 minutes can gently pull you out of that sleepy zone. The goal isn't to suddenly become busy all afternoon. It's to keep your brain and body just active enough that it stays in wake mode. This builds what sleep doctors call sleep pressure. That's your body's natural drive to fall asleep at night. The longer you're awake and the more active, in a gentle way, you are during the day, the more your brain builds up that pressure, and the easier it will be to fall asleep when bedtime comes. But what if you're genuinely exhausted in the afternoon? Should you power through no matter what? Not at all. The key here is to listen to your body the right way. If you absolutely need to rest, try taking a smart nap. That means setting a timer for no more than 20 to 30 minutes. Not lying down on your bed, but perhaps reclining in a comfy chair. And most importantly, no naps after 3 p.m. Why? Because late-day naps can steal your nighttime sleep and keep the tired cycle going. And if you find yourself dozing off during the day without meaning to, while reading, watching TV, or just sitting quietly, take it as a sign that your night sleep may need some care. Which brings us to something incredibly important: your nighttime sleep hygiene. This might sound like a fancy term, but it simply means creating an environment and routine that helps you fall asleep easily and stay asleep. Here are a few golden tips. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Your body naturally lowers its temperature to sleep, so a cooler room actually helps you nod off faster. Avoid screens 1 hour before bed. That means turning off the TV, tablet, or phone. The blue light from these screens tells your brain it's still daytime. Use a calming pre-sleep ritual. This can be as simple as sipping chamomile tea, dimming the lights, or reading a few pages of a book. The consistency of this routine tells your brain, it's time to wind down. Stick to a regular bedtime. Try not to vary it by more than 30 minutes, even on weekends. Your body thrives on rhythm, remember? And here's a little extra tip: journaling. Before bed, jot down your thoughts. What went well today? What are you grateful for? Is anything on your mind? This simple act of putting thoughts on paper helps clear mental clutter and makes it easier to fall asleep peacefully. Now, I know change can feel slow, especially when habits have built up over years. But the truth is, you don't need to fix everything overnight. You can start with just one change, maybe skipping that nap today or going for a 5-minute walk after lunch, and build from there. One small step, taken consistently, leads to real transformation. And remember this: the goal isn't to avoid rest, it's to make your rest count, to sleep when it's time to sleep, and feel alive and energized during the day. To stay active, stay independent, and feel more in control of your days, without those sluggish afternoons pulling you down. You absolutely deserve to enjoy vibrant days and peaceful nights. And by gently tuning your body back into its natural rhythm, you're giving yourself a gift, a life that feels brighter, lighter, and more you.